Hey everyone, Pat from Rockin' Agates, back with another one. I gave this one a little bit of a preview at the end of a video from just a couple videos back. Anyway, this is a Calandria agate from Mexico that I want to do. I'm gonna kind of do the perimeter of this one. I don't have a saw, so that's gonna be, it'll take a little time grinding down with the 80 wheel, but it happens pretty fast on something that small. So anyway, I am going to get this face right here. Again, I'll get rid of that little knob, go around all the way to this side. And yes, those are my 6-pound tumblers going in the background. And I got a couple 3-pounders going here too. So that's what's making all the racket, which you've heard before if you already subscribed to this channel, my channel, or if you're new, that's always happening down here by my Cab King. And then, and the Cab King is that, my 6-wheel soft wheel grinder. And then I'll come around, I'll probably hit this, I'll probably polish that little tip there, which is kind of cool. And I'll hit this side too. And go all the way around this face. So it's gonna be definitely be a project. I'm gonna hit this side too. So like I said, the perimeter, and I'm gonna do this part too. Get rid of all that surface. So obviously it's gonna shrink down a lot. But I think we've got some beautiful details that can be revealed. All right, here we go. Gonna start on the 80 wheel on the 50-year-old Beacon Star machine. That works perfectly with my gravity feed water bucket on top that I just replaced. All right, here we go, 80 wheel. Here we go. Gonna work on that little knob first. All right, here we go. That's after about 15 and a half minutes. And what an absolutely stunning agate. Calandria agate. Here, give me a second here. I'm going to take off my mask just so you can hear me a little bit better. There we go. Calandria agate from Mexico. Holy freaking crap. Wow. I'm gonna get through all of this surface material there. Hopefully I can get, yeah, I should be able to get rid of all that. Get down to that color. Wow. Just beautiful. I'm gonna wrap around this corner like I'm doing. I don't think I'm gonna get down into that pocket. It's just a little bit too deep, but I am gonna finish off the perimeter as good as I can. You can see there's quite a bit of a different plane right there, so I might take this down a little bit further, that little knob. That'd be kind of cool to have that finished, that little tip. And then I'll roll around the whole thing here. So it'll be a perimeter polish, which I've done before. Won't be hitting these two, this side or this side, but I'll do the perimeter. I've got one on my Etsy shop right now, a little Lake Superior perimeter polished one. It's super cool, just a little guy. probably about that big around. I can't remember how heavy it is, maybe an ounce and a half or something like that, 1.6 ounces. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening and watching this. Moving on to, well, not really moving on to the next wheel, but more grinding on the 80 wheel here, and I'll keep you posted on this one. Okay, this is probably after another 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes of grinding work on the 80 wheel. Dry, obviously. And this is the shape now. Just going to continue mostly on this little tip there. That'll get more round. Everything's gonna get deeper. It's gonna get smaller. But it's really cool. Love the contrast. Just sick contrast. Will be a beautiful one when it's done. All right, 80 wheel continuing. All right, here we are. I think I'm done with the 80 wheels, or the 80 wheel. Definitely lots of fractures on it. That one was a bummer. It kind of opened up on me. It just happens. And yes, there was a lot of fractures in this one, but I'm gonna just do my best. I'll go to the 120 wheel. It's a beautiful, beautiful contrasting face. Obviously this is dry, but that's what I'm gonna work with for the final shape. And I will be moving on to the 220 grit wheel. Right there. Here we go. 220. Okay, give me a second here. Going to take off my mask and dry this up and do the patented Rockin' Agates sneak peek here after about, what is it, about 8 minutes of 220. And it's just a beautiful contrasting face. It's kind of cool how that material poked through the host rock. I like that. It's just different. Again, not getting into that little pocket, but I'm doing the whole outside edge here, and then catching this right up here. Obviously, touching a little bit on this upper face here. There's that little knob that I rolled around the outside to catch the main face, and I'll just do as good as I can with these fractures and keep working on the scratches. All right, continue on 220. It's a cool looking Calandria agate. How's this look? Anyway, yeah, this is me behind the camera putting the mask down, so There we go, transparent. Getting ready to start 280. And yes, fracture city, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna still make it look as good as I can. And this may be my first example for all of you to show you my first try at using Opticon. And there's a few different products out there, and for those of you that are pros and do it all the time, it'll be my first try. Maybe you can let me know how to do the fracture sealing, but I'm going to try that after this one is totally done. I know you can stabilize them ahead of time to make the fractures happen less or not at all, or just really reduce that possibility. But anyway, just wanted to keep showing you this as I babble. Really a cool agate when you just look at the overall pattern of that chalcedony and banding. That'll be a good one. So here we go, 280 wheel coming up. $280. This is where the sanding starts. I'm going to adjust my light a little bit here, like I always do. All right, here. Mask off. Little sneak peek here. Face is unbelievable. So cool. I just love those. Love the rounded chalcedony. So cool. Definitely a few different shades of the darker agate or chalcedony showing up, which is super cool. Ooh, that little tip is cool. All right, I'm gonna continue on the 280. And I'll keep you updated as we go here. Finished, but in the next section, I'm gonna show this after putting fracture sealer in it. And yeah, this section right here has got some, dirty water. I shouldn't say but I believe like dirty water got into that fracture or something to discolor it just a little bit, like in that area. This area too. I don't know if you'd say dirty water, but just different minerals over time maybe. Not really sure, but I still love it. It's got some amazing features on it. Polishes beautifully, Calandria. I'll show it to you in a little bit. after it's been Opticoned. That's what I use for fracture sealer, and just to make those fractures a little bit more hidden. And I think I'm gonna spray this one too. I'll clean the rough areas a little bit more with my textile gun. Definitely a great tool to get rid of all those little micro dirt particles in the little pockets on this type of an agate or many agates. Love using it. Just wanted to insert this here, and again, no, I don't get any compensation by showing Opticon. I got it off of Amazon, but this is what I use. Again, there's a lot of experts out there that are much more knowledgeable in fracture healing and you know, just stabilization of gems and stones and so forth. But I'm just getting started, and this is what I talked to a guy at a show, used Opticon, and he had excellent results with his polished agates. So I used this as my fracture sealer, and I used it in this piece, or on this Calandria agate. And here's my little crock pot. I don't use a pressure chamber. That's another level, and I haven't gone to that level yet for pulling the air out of the rock and, you know, sucking the fracture sealer into the fractures. But there it is. This stuff definitely stinks, so you got to be prepared for that. And I just put it on warm. That gives you about 140, 150 degree temperature. It's not too hot for the stone. I use acetone to clean it afterward. Acetone does not hurt the stone, or at least agate. I should say, you know, check information, check the internet, ask experts if you gotta find out about what acetone or Opticon will do to certain stones based on hardness, all of that information. And then I have these tools to pull it out of the Opticon after it's done, and then I just let it sit and carefully wipe off the stone with acetone. I have these trays too, kind of a nice spot to set it in also. You don't want to leave it on a paper towel. It'll get stuck. That didn't happen to me, but I saw another person online said that, or I think I looked it up, and paper will stick to Opticon if you just leave it. So don't do that. And then this is just a different type of paper. It's more of an industrial paper towel that I use to put the acetone on first and then wipe off the stone. So anyway, that's just kind of my rig, my setup for now. I'm sure I'll get a little bit more elaborate as time goes on. Just wanted to share that in this video too. Here she is, finished.